Why you don't do that?
Hi everyone, Darius Maxey here, back yet again with another YouTube video. Oh, hi, hello, how is everyone? Oh my god, I missed you. Did you miss me? I hope so. Anyway, so today's video is going to be a book rant. Now, what brought this on was, one, I kind of wanted to do another book review since the last one I did was like a year or two ago maybe, and it was pretty fun to do, and it did okay, you know, not great because like I'm still starting channel, but it did pretty good. So I wanted to do that again, but I figured it would be more fun if I did a book rant instead of a book review, because what came about was that I was talking to one of my coworkers, right? And she might be watching this. Hi. I was talking to her because I was rereading one of my favorite books of all time, and that's what we're gonna be discussing. And I was basically talking to her about it, and I was talking to her, and I was like basically ranting to her and like explaining the shit, like, you know, the whole book, and then I was explaining its disrespectful sequel, and I was ranting about that. So I was like, this sounds like a pretty good YouTube video. But then I'm like, the people didn't want to watch, like, sorry, the viewers, I'm all over the place. The viewers didn't read, damn. The viewers didn't read the book, so I was like, it's not a popular book either, so I'm like, are they gonna read it? You know, like, But then, like, I was ranting to her about it, and she was entertained, so I was like, you know what? Maybe that might be your reaction. So I'm just gonna give it a whirl. I'm basically gonna spoil both books. So if you're okay with spoilers, great. If not, the two books are Violence Begets by P.T. Dennings, and then the sequel is The Cycle by P.T. Dennings. So if you wanna pick these up, I got them from Amazon. I'll link it below if you wanna pick these up. I highly recommend this one because this one was good. If you wanna see like some dark gay romance, some manipulative situations, trigger warning, there is domestic abuse in this, and just a pretty dark ending, this is for you. I don't know about this one, so but then you have to read this one in order to get this one. But if you do get this one, great. This one, I don't know. I just got it because I love this one so much. But this one, I don't know. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the rant. Okay, so Violence Begets. It is about two gay men. One's name's Kevin and one name's Rick, right? So Rick is new to town, and he is coming from an older town where some very traumatizing stuff happened. And the traumatizing stuff is that his brother died in a car accident that was basically his fault because he was driving, but the brother was drunk and he was picking up his brother from a party, right? And they got into a car accident which resulted in the brother's death. Now, also Rick's mother died from childbirth from him. So, and his dad is already like grieving from the mom, and then he lost his son. So Rick's dad is like on a level with him. And Rick is living with his stepmom and his baby sisters that had been birthed from the new marriage. Got it? That's basically Rick's backstory. Now Kevin already lives in the town that Rick is moving to, and Kevin's backstory is that his mom abandoned him at a very young age, like maybe like 6, 7, so he barely remembers his mom, and that only left him with his dad, who was very, he's basically a psychopath. I'm just gonna spoil it. He's basically a psychopath who it's alluded to that he abused the mom, and the mom just couldn't take it anymore, so the mom left without a trace, without a word. And then the abuse basically transferred to Kevin, and that's basically his backstory. So anyway, they move to this new town and they go to the same school because they're both in high school. They're like juniors, seniors? No, I think they're seniors. One of those. And Kevin like clocks Rick immediately, like, ooh, that's a new kid. Let me try to recruit him in my minions, because he has minions, bitch. He's like a mean girl, you know, but, you know, very much more aggressive and masculating and like domineering in that sense. Basically think Regina George, but like 6 foot and like buff and just like bad news. Like he's a troublemaker. He does drugs and alcohol, you know, like that. Anyway, so he tries to recruit Rick in his little entourage, but Rick is very standoffish and just like, I don't know. But then basically through like bro manipulation, I guess, I don't know, like offering him like a smoke and like drugs and cigarettes, Rick's like, okay, I can be friends with y'all, cause like, you know, I don't have any friends, so I'll take them if you're giving them. So Rick basically joins the friend group. And through like the course of the this part of the novel, Kevin, you see that Kevin's very manipulative, and that's like my favorite part of this novel because I kind of resonate. I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, but I kind of resonate with him because like he's very like manipulative in that he wants to control how people see him, how people feel about him, which I kind of have the same thing, but he does it in a more, you know, aggressive and like domineering way, because his life is already out of control in his household where his dad has most of the control. Like this dad won't let him, he watches his phone plan, he has locks on the fucking windows and the doors. This bitch has like, you know, he's very like just controlling in a very hostile way, and like that transferred to Kevin, and Kevin is just the same, but he's doing it because he has no control at home, so he can only control people around him and who are inferior to him, and like he thinks that they're less than. So like that's why it was so fucking interesting. Like I loved it. Anyway, sorry. So they basically through the course of the novel get closer and closer to each other, and like Kevin clocks Rick and is like, oh, he's like not fucking with my mind games. I'm like, what? He was like, what the fuck? Oh, a challenge. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna try to get in this motherfucker's head, basically. And then Rick's like, dude, Kevin is like a lot. Like he is a lot, and like I already have shit going on with my dad, so like, oh my gosh. So then when Rick gets home one day, his dad basically starts abusing him, and like this is the first time Rick's dad ever put hands on him, so he's like shocked and like crying and like, you know, all that horrible stuff that happens in domestic abuse. So it was kind of hard to read because I don't resonate with that, but it's just like, oh, you feel really bad for Rick, especially the first time. The first time was like pretty rough. Anyway, and then like this happened several times, and few of the times Kevin is there to like see the aftermath of it, because Kevin, again being controlling, he wants to like make sure he has access to all his guy friends, so he makes them like unlock their doors or their windows to make sure he can come up in their house as he please, which that's how you know this novel is for white people, because ain't no way. Anyway, so he comes upon Rick during these like aftermaths of abuse and like really helps him and cleans him up and like helps him mentally on like how to like deal with this type of abuse, and also Rick doesn't know that he's being abused by his father, which he eventually finds out. So he doesn't like compute. It's like, why is Kevin being so nice to me? Why is he being so like completely different from when he's interacting with the guys, you know? So Rick's like, you got secrets, like what is going on with you? So then we also see the backstory of like Kevin and like how he basically is gonna run away soon, and how he gets money is that he be tricking with other guys, like, you know, basically prostitution, and gets their money and like, you know, parties with older gays, and he's a minor, so he like tricks older gays into giving money to have sex. I know it's a whole it's a whole thing, but yeah. Anyway, so through these interactions and like basically them getting closer and closer, they basically end up falling in love slowly. But Kevin is afraid of that because Rick distracts him from his very analyzed and very like particular plan of action when it comes to like defending hit from his dad mentally, because Kevin like finds ways around his dad's rules by, you know, being smart and like being careful and like, you know, how he presents himself and how he conducts himself with other people in this town. Because Kevin's dad is he's like a big figurehead in the town. He's not like a mayor or like a priest or anything or a pastor, but he's very notable in the town. He's very like a stand-up guy when it comes to other folks in the town. But he's a psychopath that abuses his child severely, way more than Rick's, because I don't know how Kevin dealt with his abuse, because I would have killed. Nope, I can't say that. I can't say that on YouTube, but I would have unalived myself a long time ago if I went through Kevin's abuse, because holy shit. That would, anyway. So he's very like particular with what he needs to do to survive, and Rick is a distraction from that because Kevin suppresses his feelings, he suppresses his desires because he has to be a certain way with the dad. You feel me? So that's where like their relationship can't really flourish, and they butt heads about that. And then also Rick doesn't know if he's gay or bi or anything, but he knows he wants to be with Kevin because Kevin makes him feel safe, I think. Not really, but like he just feels so much for Kevin, and he has to kind of suppress some of his feelings because he's going through like the grief cycle of like feeling guilty about killing his brother and his mom, but both were like accidents. So like, and of course in a teenage brain, he was at fault. So it's kind of hard for him to like, you know, process any type of relationship that's good, because he has no relationship that's like very wholesome and warm except for his little sister. But outside of that, he has nobody. And it used to be his brother who like really like fueled his soul, but he has like no one really, and that's very, very sad to read. And then now he has an abusive father and a stepmom that doesn't give a shit about him. So them coming together and finding peace and love with each other and like making each other feel stuff, it was so good. And then there's sex scenes too. It was good. It was good. It was good sex scenes. And it's very like not like in your face sex scenes, but like, you know, some shit was going down. You know, like how they described it was just, it was amazing. But anyway, through a series of getting to know each other's and like making each other feel closer and closer together, and then breaking up, and then of course getting back together. But I will say the ending of the novel was very like rushed. It felt a little rushed, and basically Kevin's dad catches them while they're like right when they're about to make up and love each other forever. Kevin's dad sees them kiss, but Kevin did it on purpose because he's just tired of it. He's tired of the abuse. He's tired of like building this whole lie of a life, right? And he just wants to fuck it up and just like run away because he's about to turn 18, which means he can like, you know, legally like run away basically. So Kevin's dad catches them, and Kevin's dad beats the shit out of both of them, like very rough. Specifically more on Rick than Kevin, because that's his son, so there's like technically still love between them, but girl beats the fuck out of both of them, and Rick ends up in the hospital. And the only reason why he didn't kill Rick or Kevin, because somebody called the police. So Kevin gets to the hospital and he sees Rick, and he's like bloodied up, bandaged, just like and nurses are saying like he ain't gonna make it because he was basically beat to death, and then he flatlines, and then he like dies. I was like, ah! He fucking dies, and then Kevin's like so consumed with like grief and heartache that he overdoses and dies. But then the last chapter is Rick surviving 3 revivals basically. Like he flatlined 3 times, but he wound up surviving and then finding out that Kevin died. Oh! Bitch! Ooh! Oh my gosh. Girl, I was shook to my core. Like, oh my god, I was deceased. Anyway. And then he basically, the whole town basically finds out about all this. They find out about Kevin's dad being a sociopath, basically. Psychopath, whatever the fuck you want to call it. They call it a sociopath, but maybe he was both. I don't know. They find out about the years of abuse. They find out about Rick's dad being abusive. They find out about basically everything. And there was like a trial and everything. Rick's dad gets like probation basically. No jail time, which whatever. But Kevin's dad gets life in prison because, bitch, not only did you abuse your son, but you almost killed somebody. Technically you did. So, you know. So then at the end of the novel, it's a time jump, and Rick's living in New York, playing music, and just like living his life alone. What a tragic ending, and I loved it. Ugh, this fucking book. Mwah! Amazing. Loved it. Girl, now this motherfucker undoes all of that. Cause you know what the first chapter of the book is? Is like, the book is that Rick is alive and living well in New York. He's like in his 30s now. And he is living with a partner. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that's nice. And it's Kevin. What? Kevin's alive? No, 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 no! Just no, 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 no. You cannot retcon a death like that. Cause what the? I was so mad. I was mad already. I was like, oh my god, no. I was so mad. And then basically the first chapters is like them explaining how their lifestyle is, and they both work in social work, like counseling and like something like that. Something about social work basically, to help other people, which makes sense. And like they go to parties, they have friend groups, and like they're basically like kind of like socialites in the city. So I'm just like, girl, what? I was still mad that Kevin was alive because I'd rather Rick just explain that and then the rest of the novel will make sense anyway. Sorry. So basically, Rick finds out that his dad and his stepmom had another child like shortly after he was gone. And then it's like decades later, and that child, not the little sister, but that child is a teenager now, and he hears from, I think his sister, that she thinks that there's abuse going on, and she wants Rick to come back to town and stop it, or do something about it, because apparently she can't do nothing about it. So she asks Rick to do something about it, because he's dealt with this before. And Kevin's like, no, I don't think we should go back because like some traumatizing shit went down in that town and I don't want to step foot in that town ever again. And I know you don't want to either. But then Rick being like, no, I gotta save him. He's my brother. But you... Anyway, sorry. He's my brother and like, I can't let another brother die because of me, or suffer because of me. You don't know this motherfucker. You haven't talked to your family all this time, and now you want to like save a half brother that you don't even know, that you don't even like have an emotional connection with, a familiar connection with, and you want to save this motherfucker from your abusive dad, and the sister can't? What? Oh! And you know what happens? You know what happens? He goes back to the town with Kevin because Kevin don't want to leave him alone. And Kevin, what? He steps foot outside the airport of the town and has a fucking panic attack. And nobody's... I'm sorry, because I'm like, this motherfucker steps out the gate and has a panic attack because he's in the town that he lived in with his abusive father, and he's very paranoid about his father because like the father is very smart, so he is very paranoid that the father is gonna get to him, and that's like, hello, are we not listening? Are we not paying attention to your partner's mental health? Oh my gosh. Anyway. So he connects with the little brother, and the little brother is annoying as shit because he's very like in that stage of abuse where like, no, he just like pushes me around sometimes and like punches me when it's like I did something wrong. Like he's very in denial that he's being abused, which makes sense because like that's a thing that happens. But I'm just like, don't you want to get out of that abuse? Which psychologically, y'all can explain that to me, because bitch, somebody hitting on me, I want to get the fuck out of there daily or like frequently punching on me, hitting on me. Don't you want to get out of that household? But again, teenage brain, don't know how to, whatever. I'll give him grace. But anyway, so Rick is like, or Kevin, one of them said, oh, we should bring him back to New York, or like they thought about bringing him back to New York. But Rick, oh, I forgot which one, because I haven't reread the sequel, and I'm not, because I'm too pissed about it, as you can see. In the sequel, one of them, I forgot which one thought about moving back to New York, but then the other one's like, no, I don't want to uproot his life and his friends and his family and all that stuff. But I'm like, what? What? You wanna stay in the town that both of y'all suffered major trauma from in order to raise this motherfucker that you barely know or have any connection with? I'm sorry? And you think that's a good idea? You think that's a good idea? Huh? Okay. Okay. Anyway. So they basically move there. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. They basically move into the town that... Anyway, they move into town. I need to breathe. They move into town, right? And they get new jobs, and they're basically raising the motherfucker. And throughout the novel, he's a teenage boy, so he's lashing out and he's causing problems between the Rick and Kevin, right? And Kevin is losing his fucking mind because he starts getting notes. Now I'm not sure if I'm not gonna spoil it. He's getting notes from a mysterious stranger alluding to his dad, right? And he's getting paranoid because he thinks something really bad is going to happen with them because he's getting these notes from his fucking father from prison because he found out that he's back in town, right? And throughout the novel, he's basically losing his mind while Rick is trying to cope with being a parent now and is also dealing with his dad who's out of jail, who is basically like an elderly man at this point, and he's trying to like navigate those past traumas, right? But Kevin loses his shit. He loses shit, and then near middle to end of the novel, his dad, he realized his dad has been released, or he's broke out or something, and he confronts Kevin and is like, I won't do what I did to Rick back then again if you come with me and I start just abusing you. So Kevin's like, okay, I don't want you to hurt my family, my Rick, so I'm gonna leave with you and you can just abuse me. And then Rick basically finds this out and like rushes to try to save Kevin, but it turns out that when he gets to this location that Kevin and his dad is at, he only sees Kevin. And you know why he only sees Kevin? Because Kevin imagined the fucking dad this entire time. I think maybe, I don't know about the notes, because I kind of think those notes are real because, well, like I said, his dad was well connected in town. So in my interpretation, I believe that the notes were real when he stepped back in town, but him breaking out and like being there was not. Because Kevin was hallucinating, that's the word, hallucinating his dad being back and torturing him again because he lost his fucking mind in the town that he was traumatized in. So Rick finds Kevin, and Kevin abuses Rick a little bit because he thinks that's what the dad wants, I think. And the movie ends with basically Kevin in a sane asylum. And that's the end. I hate it here. Like, what do you mean? He loses his mind and like it's just crazy and then that's it. What? Oh, I was so mad. I was mad through the entire book because one, why is Kevin alive? Two, why would you move back into the town that both of y'all was traumatized in? Three, why would you raise a kid that y'all weren't planning for, actually? Why would you raise a kid that you don't have any connection with? Four, why couldn't the sister raise the damn child? Because the sister was grown at this point. So why couldn't she do it? And five, what was the point of the sequel? You didn't need the sequel. Or if they did do a sequel, the brother thing, okay, I get, because Rick has trauma with brothers. Okay, that makes sense. If it was just Rick, it was just Rick going there and taking the brother out of the town and moving him back to New York and like their trials and struggles with basically raising a child that you kind of didn't want, and also like getting like mental flashbacks of your own brother and mental flashbacks of your own abuse, that would have been more compelling. That would have been more interesting. And then having like basically competing with a gay lifestyle where you're having like, you know, because in the novel they was having like threesomes and partying and like, you know, doing the gay lifestyle. That, and then you like competed with a parent lifestyle where you can't party and have threesomes and do drugs and drink all the time because you have a child with you, like a teenage boy. Doesn't that sound more interesting and more complex and more like, ooh, and then like you're also grieving the love of your life? Anyway, so that's my rant. I hope you stayed for the entire time. I hope you pick up this book because it's like really good. I don't know about that sequel. You can read it if you want, but I'm not gonna say not recommended, but you saw my rant. Anyway, that's the video. I am sweating. Oh my gosh, okay. That's the video. Please like, comment, share. Yeah. Sorry, I am angry. Please do all that stuff. It really helps my channel out and grow. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Follow me on TikTok. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.